Good morning, everybody. Once again, it's Adam Vore, Vice President of the Citizens Committee for a Restructured Government, www.ccrg.info. Today, with the CCRG News Roundup for July 24th, 2012, Special Edition. Today, we're going to focus mostly on the Colorado shooting. Not by my choice, I assure you. It's a sad tragedy. I pray that it would never, ever happen. But for those of you who are in the know, we know why it happened, so they can take more of our gun rights away. But I just want to give you some information and some, evidence that I've found that the mainstream media is not showing, that most of you, people like yourselves, are showing, and other news sources, which I believe have the real news. So here we go. Let's start this. First, before we get into that, a near riot broke out after police were involved in a shooting in Anaheim. There were people protesting an innocent police shooting, and the police are getting very combative, and I think they're mentally preparing for what's about to happen. But as you can see in this video here, there is literally a standoff. The man's just standing there, they're protesting, and all the police are shooting beanbags at them for protesting the police for shooting someone in cold blood, and the police are getting away with it. I don't mean to laugh at that. I mean, then you can see the attack dogs going after that gentleman right there, and they're sitting on a lawn protesting, and the police are just literally attacking them. And these people just wanted to, peacefully protest that what the police did to an innocent man, and they're just getting shot at by rubber bullets. They're getting attacked, and this is what's happening right now in Anaheim, California. The next wave of violence. It's getting worse out there, everybody. You're going to need to protect yourself soon. Make sure you got your guns, because they don't want you to have your guns. There's going to be a war in this country. There's going to be a war. It's going to be between its own people. And we need to do something before it's too late. So let's get started with the Dark Knight shooting thing. Basically, this is Alex Jones. The link's going to be provided at the bottom. You can watch his whole take on it, but he basically gives some similar information to what I give. So you can listen to that at your own leisure. Now, this is the first video of James Holmes. James Holmes is in neurobiology. Okay, that's fact number one. Fact number two, he's been to multiple universities under a neurobiology, scholarship. Okay, what is neurobiology? Science of the brain, science of the nervous system, science of how to control the mind. The chemical biology of it. And that's what he's in. He's literally in the science of where mind control exists. So he's been exposed to mind control technology, mind control, situations. So this is him speaking about temporal illusions, which he says how to change your past. I don't know what the heck that's supposed to mean, but he's speaking, 6 years ago at 18 at a science camp, saying how he's working on temporal illusions. He's basically an MK Ultra victim. This guy, he's not even using his own mind. He just looks like he's out of it all the time. Even when he was 18, he looked like he was out of it. But those are the facts for that. This is the eyewitness testimony. I want you all to hear this. This is important information. The first is going to be a police officer speaking, giving his side of the story. Then you're going to hear two eyewitnesses speaking, and they're going to tell you what they have to say, and we'll go over it after they speak. So here we go.
All the evidence we have, every single indicator is that this is all Mr. Holmes's activity, and that he wasn't particularly aided by anyone else.
Well, I noticed the guy walked in from into the auditorium, sat into the very front row to the far right, and he got a phone call. And most people, when they get phone calls in theaters, they go straight out into the lobby to answer it. This person went directly to the emergency exit to take this phone call, which I thought was unusual. He seemed like he had his foot propped open by the door, and from the crack, it looked like he was signaling somebody or looking for somebody to come his way. As he was sitting down to get my...
All right, as you heard, the guy got a phone call, and one of the eyewitnesses says somebody got a phone call, and the gentleman went to the exit door, opened it up, and he saw the man signaling someone. All right? So that's not in the mainstream media right now. So there is accomplices involved with this. He is not the only person. And remember what that cop just said. Oh, James Holmes acted alone. Bullshit. I'm calling utter bullshit. Next eyewitness.
See it, I noticed that a person came up to the front row, to the front right, sat down, And as credits were going, it seemed like he got a phone call. So he went out towards the emergency exit doorway, which I thought was unusual to take a phone call. And it seemed like he probably pried it open or probably did not let it latch all the way. Soon as the movie started, somebody came in, all black, gas mask, armor, and threw a gas can into the audience, and it went off, and then there was gunshots that took place.
Okay, so that's eyewitness number 2. Saying the same thing that the first one said. Here comes eyewitness number 3.
We saw he wasn't alone. He had someone with him because the second can of tear gas didn't come from his side.
The second can of tear gas did not come from his side. Okay?
Really dressed in black, head to toe. From what we saw, it seemed like he had something over his face, probably to prevent him from breathing it in. And we could only assume that someone got him in.
All the evidence we have, every single indicator is that this is all Mr. Holmes's activity, and that he wasn't particularly aided by anyone else.
And what we need to do is change.
See, that's total BS. He wasn't aided by anybody else. You heard from 3 eyewitnesses that corroborated the same story, that a second canister, well, one of them said the second canister, that saw the second canister, and 2 of them, well, 3 of them saw the emergency exit, and 2 of them said that they saw him signaling someone else to come in. This is total bullshit, people. I know what this is. You know what this is. Now, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit on your ass and just go, well, there's nothing I could do? Or are you going to get out there and do something about it? That's up to you. So, this is Holmes's mother, okay? She suggests that ABC News mischaracterized her statement. Now, she basically, an ABC News reporter called her about 5:45 in the morning and asked, do you know, are you, whatever her name was, Arlene Holmes, and if your son was James Holmes, who lives in Aurora, Colorado? And she answered, yes, you have the right person, referring to herself. ABC ran with that. She said, yes, you got the right guy. You've got my son, James Holmes. He's the right guy. So ABC did false reporting. She never admitted to. She didn't even know if her son was involved. How many James Holmes must be in existence? So she didn't even know her son was involved. Just a little tidbit. Not that it really, maybe it matters, but all these MK Ultra people that were used, if I don't have the picture with me on Facebook, but they were all Jewish. I don't know if that's a coincidence, but, Jewish-controlled media, Jewish-controlled planet, that's probably a coincidence there. But bottom line is the mother's statement was contradicted, okay? So the reporter, this is a total blackball situation, everybody. They're totally blackballing everything. They're trying to just use anything they can to take our gun rights away. And I'm telling you again, there's going to be a war in this country for your gun rights. And people who have guns are going to be fighting back the very government that's trying to take them away with the UN help. You mark my words. Next article. Now, Aurora Massacre, several links between James Holmes and U.S. government research. Now, this is very important, okay? The 24-year-old suspect in mass shooting, he has links to U.S. government-funded research centers, okay? Now, usually U.S. government-funded research centers involve mind control. 9 times out of 10. In fact, 100% of the time, it's always mind control, because the word government is from the Greek word gubernatario, which means to control the mind. So the word government is mind control, okay? So it's right in front of everybody's face and nobody even sees it. But Holmes's past association with Government Research Project has prompted police and federal law enforcement officials to order laboratories and schools with which Holmes has had a past association not to talk to the press. Why? Why are they not allowed to talk to the press? Because people are going to find out the truth. Holmes was one of 6 recipients of a National Institutes of Health neuroscience training grant at the University of Colorado Anschutz Medical Campus in Denver. All right? Neuroscience, mind control. There's the next link. Okay? Holmes is a graduate of the University of Riverside with a Bachelor of Science degree in neuroscience. Okay? Although Holmes dropped out of the PhD neuroscience program in Anschutz in June, police evacuated 2 buildings at the Anschutz Center after the massacre and the Aurora movie theater. Holmes reportedly gave a presentation at the Anschutz campus in May on micro-DNA biomarkers in a class titled Biological Basis of Psychiatric and Neurological Disorders. So a guy basically talking about biological basis of psychiatric and neurological disorders all of a sudden has one. Okay? All of a sudden he actually becomes what he's researching. The government makes him into it. Okay? This is total. This is so obvious to me. I really hope it's obvious to you. And if you still don't believe, then please unsubscribe to me now and go back into your hole and just bury yourself there. If you don't see what I'm showing you people. Now this is what they do in MK Ultra situations. This is a real thing. They attach probes to your skull or into your brain. They keep your eyes moist with eye drops, and they keep your eyes open, and they force you to watch visual representations. And then they can slowly but surely make you forget by mind controlling you, making you accept statements. I mean, look it up, people. It's real. It exists. Mind control exists. All right, Google it. Google MK Ultra. Read about it. Learn about it. This guy is drugged. There is no way in heaven or in hell that this guy is of his own body and mind. If you watch the whole video of him in court, when they ask him, do you represent yourself, James Holmes, what do you have to say for yourself, he doesn't respond. He just sits there with his eyes blinking, looking totally out of his mind. This guy's on some kind of a trip, or his brain is fried. He's just a patsy. They're using him. He was at an Occupy Wall Street. They have a picture of him at Occupy Wall Street. So he was one of the Occupy Wall Streeters. They just wanted to use him as an example. All right? And you figured use a guy in neuroscience and it's easy to cover up and blah, 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 blah. But I'm telling you that these guys, their shit's starting to, show. And even people who don't know what's going on are starting to figure out what's going on. All right? Now, when this happens, the UN comes into this country with their blue helmets. They are not here for your protection. Don't let the red, white, and blue become the white flag of surrender. Stop the UN gun ban now. See, the NRA is promoting this. So there's going to be, like I said, third time I'm telling you in this video, there is going to be a major war in this country. It's either going to be fought with guns, and it's currently being fought for your mind. Now, you all need to wake up and at least protect yourself. Because you want to know something? At least if I die defending my right, I died for something. All right? You could die tomorrow getting hit by a car. You can die tomorrow getting murdered by a murderer. You can die tomorrow choking on a piece of food. What is your life worth? Okay? What is your life worth? I want to be able to die and go right in front of God and say, I did everything I could to make the world a better place. I did everything I could to wake people up and to show them what's going on in the world and to show them what needs to be done to save our planet and our society and our country. And I have no qualms. We're all sinners. We all do bad things. We all have a limit to our capacity of what we can handle. But do something. Something, people. Do something. Okay? At least protect yourself. All right? And I just want to end with two more pictures. This is what's going on in Mexico. They basically, the people there are pissed off with the elections. They have unfair elections. It's dictatorship now. She says, please tell everyone around the world that democracy, quote unquote, in Mexico is a fraud, that we live under a dictatorship, but we will fight for our freedom to choose our leaders against the tyranny and repression, misery and abuse. Because if we don't fight now, when will we be free? Help us spread the word. We need you. Okay? So Mexico is going through their own revolution right now because they're taking over the Mexican government now. They're dictatorshipping at that. So they're getting everything ready for the New World Order. What are you guys going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And this is the last photo of the day. You got two cute girls riding on bikes with automatic rifles on their back. That's my type of photo, okay? Fourth in the world in guns per capita, extremely permissive gun control laws, and a low crime rate. Who would have thought? I guarantee you, if I saw two girls riding a bike down the street with automatic rifles on their back, I wouldn't, if I was some, which I'm not, if there was some pig that wanted to, he wouldn't hit on them. He'd think twice. Okay? The bottom line is if everybody was walking around with automatic rifles, there would be no crime because everybody would be able to protect themselves and you don't know where the next bullet would come from. When only guns are outlawed, only outlaws have guns. All right? It's obvious. It's common sense. So I've given you a lot to think about today, everybody, and I really hope that all of you take this information to heart and really, really think about it and pray on it. And again, the only way out of this is through Christ, and the only way out of this is through Christ and our protection with our Second Amendment rights. So do what you got to do, survive, try to stay sane, and watch everything unfold. Be ready this Friday. Something might happen during the Olympics. Be ready this Friday. God bless you all. This is Adam Vore, signing out.